So moving forward, our next session is innovation in the new normal. That's our theme here, which is all about how we continue to innovate in this post-pandemic world. Obviously, COVID threw a monkey wrench in a lot of our plans and how we work and how we innovate and what we do remotely, etc. So we have a keynote that's coming up, but before that, I want to take a few moments to introduce Animesh Pathak, who is our head of president of the Alumni Association, and he's also in his day job. He's the VP of R&D at My Karma, which is also founded by one of our senior alumni, Ujnath, and they're based out of LA. Animesh, please welcome, and he's from 2003 computer science batch, and he would love to give a little bit of an update on Ibgaa. Everybody, good morning. It is very good to see you all. I met some of my long lost buddies recently from a Morbi hostel first year. We were able to get a nice, good selfie of the computer science guys, the mining and ceramics, all three of us together. I hope you're all having a very good time, isn't it? Yeah. Nice. With that said, a quick intro and reminder of IBGA, the IIT-BHU Global Alumni Association. My name is Animesh Pathak, as Jagdish kindly introduced me, and I'm just in the long list of baton holders of this rather long path. Years ago, when I was a grad student at USC, Jagdish and a bunch of others, including Ujnath, 1979, Metallurgy, Akash Sahai and the crew, they started building this alumni association. I still remember driving the 6 hours from LA to the Bay Area to attend the alumni meet back then. I remember Deepak Ahuja driving a new fancy car called the Tesla, and it was a very, very cool event. And over the years, the institution evolved, grew, as Jagdish alluded to it. In 2009, we formalized the IIT-BHU Global Alumni Association. Vish was our founding president and took it to a very nice place. I see many other people who have been part of this journey. I see Abhijit Solanki and Manu Srivastava over here. These days, we have a new board. So we have Priyank Goyal, we have Yashwant Rai, we have myself as parts of the organization present over here. A quick summary of what we've been up to most recently. So big picture, our goal is to serve all the IIT-BHU alumni globally. Anybody who's outside India is most welcome to be part of our team, and our job is to serve them. I'm very happy to say that we have a very global board. We have people from the US, we have people in Canada, the UK, Switzerland. In fact, Anand Singh from 93 Electronics may be around here. If you find him, he's in Singapore. We have a board member in Australia. So it's a pretty global board, and part of our goal is to figure out what's going on and how we can help. The other part of what we do is to make sure that we represent IIT-BHU on the board of the Pan-IIT. I serve specifically on the board of Pan-IIT USA. I know Anand does that in Pan-IIT Singapore. And I'm also very happy to say you heard our Dean of Research and Alumni Affairs talk about the wonderful amounts of money is raised thanks to our friends at the IIT-BHU Foundation. Honestly, I was really proud to report that to the Pan-IIT board recently. And I'm happy to report IIT Bombay is the only one who was more than us in the most recent exec meeting of the Pan-IIT board. So, now of course our goal will be to beat IIT Bombay, which is where you should talk to Arun and his team at the IIT-BHU Foundation. Will be pretty awesome. There's a couple other things that we've been doing, various projects that we've been engaged in. For example, the 94 batch Silver Jubilee fundraising and all the grants, about 150K USD amounts of money raised. We also, during COVID, many of you... Way to set the bar, man. It's going to get broken very soon. So then we also, and all of you, thank you so much, you all stepped up. There was a major crisis going on with the mess workers who had lost their livelihood when the campus had shut down. And people, so many of you in this room, we stepped up. And I would say that that was a very good example and a good start. The money seems small, it's only 51K. But for me, it lays the foundation of the collaboration between the institute, administration, and the alumni body. For an institute which was founded by Mahamana Malviya based on donations, we all know the stories of Hyderabad Gate and stuff. We haven't been doing a very good job in terms of being able to raise, route, and realize the funds from alumni at the institute, historically speaking. We have now stepped up. You heard some very nice updates recently. This was a very small but important exercise in figuring out, okay, what does it really take to route the money? And then actually get it to people, honestly, as disadvantaged as mess workers who may be in their villages. It took a lot of doing, it took a lot of collaboration from the institute staff as well as the student volunteers. So kudos to them, and that was a very good exercise to get the pipelines going. We have leveraged that to most recently have a graduate school applications scholarship running. I'll give you more details about that very soon. I'm happy to report that there's a whole bunch of grad students now in the US who are here in part because of alumni support. From there, more on that in a couple of slides. Also, IBGAA, also called Ibgaa, because we like to speak our acronyms, has been striking a very good collaboration with our friends at the IIT Foundation, who absolutely are on the big ticket side of fundraising thing. They're doing an amazing job. One of those instances has been the Jay Chaudhary lecture series. I'll talk about it right now. Some of you saw me vanish yesterday evening while you were busy setting up the stage. That's because I was moderating one more session of it. And again, that's one of those things which make me personally very hopeful, coming from back in 2003 time frame when I graduated undergrad, came to the States, went to USC. Oh my God, those guys raise money and do stuff like nobody's business. And I was like, why don't we do that? And it's happening. So I'm really happy to share with you that those things are happening. Next slide, please. Another important thing to note over here, and I want to acknowledge a few people who I was able to find in our chapter moderators WhatsApp group. We do maintain a moderators WhatsApp group. My ask of you over here is, if your region is not over here, if you're from Austin, raise your hand please in the audience. Who's here from Austin? I met one person at least. There's one person and nobody else from Austin. Okay. Who is here from Boston? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please look around. If your city is not over here, get together in this conversation today. Let me know. I will get you in the group moderators list. That way, whatever local chapters you set up, please have these events local, get together. COVID is over in some ways. We recently had an official announcement to that effect in 60 minutes. So we can start meeting up in person. Specifically, if you're in Cupertino or San Ramon, Jayam Sambayar and Puneet Goyal are two people you should look for right over here, and you'll find them. If you are in Cincinnati, Kapil Arora would be your person. If you are in Atlanta, Amit Arora, solid guy. He also has a lot of Pan IIT chapter management experience. If you're in LA, please reach out to me or Rahul Pathak, who's around here somewhere. Rahul? Question. There you are. So we'll be setting up some SoCal stuff as well. Singapore, Anand Singh, who I don't know if he's woken up yet from his jet lag, but I'm sure you'll find him. We were joking yesterday that he looks like me. He both have goatees, but we have a decade of difference. He looks better than me somehow. So go find Anand and please have a chat with him from Singapore. If you want to expand into more Asia Pac stuff, Anand is extremely well connected. For Australia, we have Neeraj Kesarwani. In Toronto, we have 3 people, Harishankar from 97 batch, Neeraj Soni from 11, and Jahan Gulati from 2012 batch. And this is a small sample, and part of our goal at IBGAA is to make sure that we build those real-world connections. We all know the value of networking from a professional sense. I would say what COVID has taught us, there's also a personal sense. So if you want to share some of those interests with each other, if you want to go hiking or surfing or whatever, please talk to your fellows. We at least share these nice contacts. Next slide, please. Keep your mobile active. Okay. Next slide. Oh, there it is. A couple key focus areas I want to share with you. They are, as an ex-academic, they are of a personal interest to me, as somebody who went through the graduate school process and all that. You may remember, those of you who did the whole GRE route and applied for grad school or have family who have done those things, 100% $600 sounds like a lot of money when you're a student who's just finishing up and make no money, and in fact are spending your parents' money for this college. Not a lot of money, like PhD doesn't cost that much, but still, it sounds like a lot of money. So what we realized was that there was a group at the institute. Their Instagram handle is research.iitbhu for those who are in the gram. It's a bunch of very, very enthusiastic kids, I'd say, who are keeping the spirit of research alive, all the core domains. So not everybody graduates and joins a tech company in a situation. If you want to go deeper, you do that. And they're doing a very, very good job mentoring students and writing their SOPs and the applications and CVs and stuff. So part of what we did as the very first iteration of this game is we raised about 5K-ish. We had an evaluation round, and the evaluation, again, very happy to say, Jagdish pointed out how we have alumni across all the fields. We have many alumni who are academics. And we got together a little pool, and we were able to do proper reviews, Zoom interviews with students, assess their applications, and basically rank them and invest in them. And our core idea was, if you're choosing to apply to certain schools, strive higher, go beyond your safety schools. It's okay. We'll back you up for that. And there were some students, like people who had lost their parents during COVID, and basically said, I need to earn a living for my family right now. I cannot even think of going to grad school. What do I do? And we were able to support some of those cases as well. And we all know this is reality, it happens. And I'm really, really happy to say that we were able to welcome Lokesh Krishna at USC Viterbi, go Trojans, who is going to go for PhD over there. Vedant Kashyap, who is going to University of Massachusetts in Lowell. Shloka Negi, who is going to UC Santa Cruz for her PhD. Damakonda Sai Kumar, who is going to Arizona State for his master's. Elavati Pragnya, who is going to UC San Diego, as well as Kura Bhavana Chaudhary, who is going to UC San Diego. It was a good start, a small start. Our goal this year is to raise 10K. Again, small goal, tiny piece, that's the whole idea. Plan, do, check and adjust, like little iterations. We already have about 15 students that we have interviewed. I'm happy to say that Dr. Shweta Singh, who's Shweta to me because she is 2006, 3 years my junior, chemical engineer from IITBHU, chemical engineering professor at Purdue. She was in Banaras recently, and in person she interviewed all these students. We are assisted by Uday Venkatadri from the 1984 batch, who is out in Toronto in academia. Myself, as a recovering academic, also I help out. And we've had these meetings with these students. We've identified some students. There's a QR code in your booklets that you'll be seeing, or come talk to me. 10K is not a lot of amount. If you feel strongly about the MS PhD journey, please come talk to me. It will be really nice for us to be able to support these students. Next slide, please. Next slide. These are some testimonials. Yes, it is a wordy slide. I have broken the rules of presentation, but I did want to point this out. These are like raw messages that we got from the students. For example, the second option from Kura, she's like, I had placements, I had internships, but then over time, she was able to make a firm commitment, irrespective of the family situation. We all know the unfortunate reality of a girl trying to go to grad school and what that may be. In India especially, and these things are able to grease the skids. By no means are we saying just because you want to do a master's or PhD you should go do it. No, we will evaluate you and we choose to invest in you accordingly. And yes, the system does skew more towards the PhD support than the master's support. But we do want to encourage our alumni to come here and go for a master's if that's what they want to do. And these are sample stories. What warms my heart is Shloka's message at the bottom. I no longer have to prioritize one university over another because of application fees. Also, the one-on-one mentorship is immensely helpful for making decisions. We were able to help these students to connect them with peers who had gone through these journeys in their specific majors and recommend specific universities, specific professors to go to. And it's really heartwarming. So those of you who are moved by this, please come talk to me. We'll be happy to share some stories and ask you for money. Yes. Next slide, please. Next slide. Other next. This is part of the act. Part of the act. Keep going. One more. Almost there. Good job. So the Jay Cherry lecture series, and I'm sure you can sense a theme here of the academic aspects over here. Jay had raised an issue when he was working with the IITBHU Foundation and giving his $1 million. One of those topics which was raised was, and Jay talked about this during the kickoff meeting of this, he said, I want I don't just want smart engineers to come out of ITBHU. I want smart, employable engineers to come out of ITBHU. I do not want to spend 6 more months teaching them stuff that they should know anyways. What are you doing at the campus? And that's a very fair point. I still remember when you were shaping this whole thing, and Vishnu Anand is over here. Vish, thank you very much for your initial push to work on this with us. Kailash is over here as well. When we were building it, we went with a story that I quote often about my life at USC and how I found it to be different from ITBHU. And I'm sure you have your similar stories of American grad schools. One of my friends, Deepshika Ganju from my batch from Electronics 2003, she came to me one day. We were classmates at USC as well, and she's like, Animesh, I just had my internship interview for Intel. Like, okay, good, how I hope it went well. She's like, yeah man, but you know what? The questions for the interview, they were from the midterm. And that's key. The curriculum has to match the demand of the industry. Otherwise, what are we doing? And this is a good place to start that whole journey. I'm really happy to say things which are not on this slide, because maybe I should have put them on slides, but I'm really pleasantly surprised, very pleasantly surprised to see that the director and the DORA have helped us immensely from the get-go. Again, Arun, the foundation guys, kudos to you guys for building that very strong bridge. This initiative, unlike all the previous stuff that we had done, is not on the alumni website. It's actually on the Institute's own website. And the Institute's own Microsoft Teams account is being used for these video lectures. And the Institute's own YouTube channel is where these things will be hosted. This to me is a trailblazer. This is the first time we have been able to have an academic thing. I'll take it across. So far, we have had multiple sessions. We had Jay talk about the big picture of how things are done. Dr. Raj Yavatkar, who's here, thank you so much for your time, came in and really challenged the students. And this was not a high-level conversation. Raj was like, are you spending time learning Go as a programming language? Why aren't you? It's so much better than C++. Go check it out. Because we want the students to understand that that's really important. We went on. Kailash challenged our team to make nicely scalable systems, told some very interesting stories, including making his own bootleg compiler at Wipro back in the day that people loved. And those are very inspiring stories to our students. We had Khushi and Lakshya, who are recent graduates working at Google and JP Morgan, talk about their experience. They're like 1-2 years out of college. So it was very good for the students to hear from them directly. We had Professor Rakesh Verma from the 84th batch, who is a researcher in the security domain, talking about security concepts. We had Rajesh Shah, whom you will also see around here, my fellow SoCal guy, talking about VR and AR concepts. And last night we had Jayanti Sampath Kumar and Abhishek Modi from Google talking about data analytics and how you can use open source stuff. And I want to be very clear about this. They were not just talking about the high-level aspects of data analytics. There were slides by Abhishek talking about the architecture of Apache Hadoop, the history of Apache Hadoop, and the architecture and history of Apache Spark. This is the kind of lectures they've been able to organize. I want to acknowledge the people who have been deeply involved. Next slide, please. Let's see which way it goes this time. Awesome. This is what it looks like. There's a lecture theater. It's a hybrid thing. There are students on Microsoft Teams. There are students in person. Yes, there is pizza and there is drinks, as it is normal, and thanks to Jay for that. And the students attend. And it's been going very well. We have about 5 or 6 more lectures which we have slots for, because we want to end the semester with this particular lecture series. But what we're hoping for is that this lays the foundation. Yes, this is only for software engineering and going deeper. But if you're passionate about your domain, please do talk to our friends at the foundation, and we'll be happy to work with them and set up a similar series for your specific domain. And the Club of Programmers at ITBHU, it's a group of student volunteers who focus on programming and going deep into tech. They have been amazing volunteers working with us, setting all these things up. So kudos to them. This has been a very, very good journey so far. Very nice collaboration. Next slide, please. So what's next? Basic pieces, please go to connect.itbhuglobal.org. If you haven't, connect to your buddies, people that you will meet here as well. Please donate generously. We are 501c3. As I said, pretty small target that we're shooting for right now. It's a good 10K goal for the graduate student scholarship part. In your program booklets, you will see a bigger QR code. Take a look, come talk to me, come talk to Puneet. He counts all the money, he's our treasurer. Puneet, want to wave? I can't see him. Doing good? Oh, he's not here. Find him. Please reach out to your local chapters. You saw some names previously. Also, please volunteer for the org. You all know there's only so much juice in any of us for a couple years, always in need of fresh blood. So if you're a marketing guru, come talk to me. Website person, come talk to me. Just want to come and do something, please come talk to me. I'm really happy to have those conversations. Finally, most importantly, if you need any help, let us know. A big part of what we do is we are a conduit to the Institute. Things have gotten so much better now. You can directly email dora@itbhuac.in and they will step up and help you out. But if they don't because they get busy or something, please do not hesitate. Reach out to us. We'll be happy to leverage our slightly hotline connections, if you will, and get you connected. Once again, thank you very much for coming. Wonderful event. Thank you.